Hey everyone, welcome to another Luthier's Lair. In this video we're going to be attempting for the first time a dual-sided carve on a Gazzbass Falcon Series 2 neck. The first carve I ever did of one was strictly two-dimensional, and it was the truss rod side, and I cut out the profile and then left myself work to do to hand carve the neck. Now that I've learned a little bit more about CNC, not too much, but a little bit more, let's see if we can have a shot at doing a double-sided carve. Should be interesting, so stay tuned, find out what happens. Let's get with it. Here we are then. I've already clamped the piece of 3/4 inch thick maple blank to the wasteboard of the CNC router machine, and I squared it up using my handy dandy square here. This side's fine, totally square, and so is this side, totally square. So everything's squared up. I marked where I put the neck on this side. This is going to be the truss rod side, going to be doing the truss rod and stuff on that. And then so I come to flip this, and there's a thin line going all the way along here, so I know it's square. Just darken that in a bit. When I flip it, I'll be flipping it that way. The piece is still at the centre of the stock, and I theoretically should be able to do a double carve on it. So the first operation is going to be the truss rod cavity, and I'm going to use an 1/8 inch spiral downcut bit for a while, and then change to an upcut to finish off. So yeah, that's what we're going to start with, and I think we're about ready to set up. I'm going to go and align the machine, and let's get going. Now, well, I'm getting ready for the second phase of this job, and that is to cut the bend well. But I need to re-zero the work. It's just the way my workflow is right now. Kind of weird. And there's a little block, aluminum block there you can see. It's called the bit 0. What I do is I get it approximately close to the centre of that circle. So that's pretty approximate, and I'll do the Z depth now. And back off another increment, and that's fairly close. So what I do here is, to complete the circuit, I put this probe on the collet. That completes a circuit. Now this can tell, and I have a 1/4 inch steel dowel in the collet right now, so that allows me to probe the exact corner of the stock. And let's start probing. I like to hold this on by hand because there is some force exerted. You see when it turns red there? I don't know if you can see that actually. You probably can, but probably can't actually. Yeah, you see the red flash. That's getting the exact zero of the workpiece, so that in the next tool change, which I'm about to do for the bend well, everything's the same as it was before in the previous operation, and it will all be hunky-dory. That's the theory anyway. Hasn't failed so far. But there's always a first time. Okay, let's get on with the bend weld. Here we go then, flip time. First time I've ever done a neck on the CNC. Backing that up. But you know, I just did the truss rod cavity and the bend weld there. Seems to be slightly up, but that's okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to flip this over, okay? And because everything's centered, we should have a look at that. That's pretty good. That's weird. I'll have to revisit that tool path. But we flip this now to this side. We've got to make sure it's exactly where it was on the reverse side. So, again, I get out my square here. What I'll do is I'll lightly clamp. If it'll let me. Yes. I'll lightly clamp here. So I'm going to be nudging a lot here. Lightly clamped. I know that's too short. So there you go. Okay. I'm going to tighten that slightly. Now we're going to go across this side. Put the square on it. Move it slightly. Make sure that's square. And when it hits that, and this is all tight, that's good to put this one on. Okay. And lightly clamp that one down. Just slightly. Okay. That's right there, and that is correct on that side. So it's completely square again. Hopefully I'm going to get a centre line. There's a score in this wood because it was cheap stock that I got for experimentation. I know I can mill this piece out though. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so I know this is fully tensioned. Now there is a little bit of play there, so I'm going to back off. Yeah. Yes, indeed. And then clamp again. Loosen that up. Bring the lip over. Bolt against there. You want to make sure this is square, otherwise it won't work. And the wood itself is square. There are other ways of doing this. Dowel systems, centre WCS, which is working coordinate system, all that other stuff. That's on the money there. Actually could do with a little tap down. This is being a bitch, this side. It's okay. Yep, okay. Sorry folks. That's better. Okay. Alright, now that's bang on. So I'm going to tighten that. Double check this side here, and I'm off. Yeah. So paste to double check all the stuff. Alright. Pressure on that while I scoop that in. That's it. We're square. Now all I need to do is clamp everything else down. That's going to hold pretty well while I tighten everything else up, and we'll get ready to do the back of the neck, which is the most important part, of course, from a player's perspective. The front part is very important, of course, as well, because you're laying in a truss rod on the front part. So everything needs to be clamped in real tight for this one, because this is a lot of operations going on here. There's going to be, well, let's think. There's going to be, on this side, there's going to be 3 operations. One is to rough out the neck, just rough it out. The next one is to put contour in it with tabs in it, and then a fine carve. So that's what we're going to do next. Yeah, had a bit of a faux pas. The piece of maple I was using to make this Falcon Series 2 neck, yeah, it was going on very well, and then the collet on the router slipped, the bit dropped out and gouged a hole into my wasteboard and ruined the piece. So I'm using a piece of oak now. What you saw previously is kind of the way I'm doing it. I did rework the tool paths, and I found 2 collisions in the tool paths. So I got rid of them, and we're going again, and let's see what happens. I think this should be okay. I hope this one's okay. You live and learn. I didn't clean the collet between tool changes. Bad mistake. Bad mistake. Rookie mistake, I would say. But you live and learn. Let's go get on with it, shall we? Okay, operation complete, as you can see, beautifully carved out. Now I did get a little bit more material on the end there, but that was because I was scared. So what I did, I had tabs in there, there's still tabs in there, there's still some material left, but that can be sanded off, and now it just remains for us to get rid of this, and we'll liberate this piece from the blank and see what we've got. Awesome. Okay folks, yeah, sorry about the other noise that I've got here. But, yeah, here's what the neck looks like once it's been liberated from the stock. As I said, I left a lot of stock. Yeah, because I was scared that my tool path was wrong again, but I did get the right tool path this time. No collisions, nothing, and it showed in simulation. And here's the neck. There it is. Beautifully formed. bang on centre, everything, and I'll show you how much stock I left actually. You can see it there. See? I don't know if you can see that. The lighting is awful in here. Let me bring you across here, shall I? Yeah, let's get across here. See that? That's how much stock I left because I was scared. Oh, Cardassian neck. Anyway, yeah, so that'll get sanded off easily. And yeah, and this is extraordinarily light. I tried to go for as thin a profile as I could. And of course, remember, this is going to get a 1/4 inch piece of wood on top of it called a fretboard. And you know, something like, let's see, I've got an old one in here. Something that'll go sort of like that. Yeah, like so. You know, so it'll end up being like that thick. But yeah, all it needs is 220 grit sanding now. It's remarkable, and the sticker is still on the bit of wood. I went up to a company called East Coast Lumber in just North Delray Beach here in South Florida, and they were happy enough to give me a 32 inch by 3.5 inch by 3/4 inch piece of oak for $10. Can't beat that. It pays to scavenge. I mean, the finish is so good in this that, like I said, it'll just take 220 grit to finish off. So there we have it. 3 hours work. I really backed off on the aggressiveness of the cut. I reduced my feed speed, which is the lateral movement of the CNC machine. I reduced my plunge speed. I reduced my step overs, which is if you have like let's say a 1/4 inch tool, half of that is 1/8 inch, but then I went half again, so that's 0.3175 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch step over. So the job took much longer, but it had 0 issues, no issues at all. And I did have issues with my other jobs, so I'm going to review all my tool paths for all the objects that I'm making, and that should come in handy. You know, knowledge is the first part of wisdom. Logic is the second. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I'm glad you could join me, and stay tuned. I'll be back with something else that you may like, and only remains for me to say the usual. Stay safe, be good. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Bye bye.